Good afternoon. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is SKTV coming to you live from Phoenix, Arizona. Today is a new day, a brand new day. Today is Tuesday, the 27th of February, 2024. I want to say thank you to all of you for joining SKTV this morning, this afternoon, this evening, depending where you are. We want to welcome all of you. As promised, today we are going to be having a conversation with Mr. Josh Binda, who is an aspirant for the U.S. Congress. He's in the state of Washington, Seattle area. We're going to be bringing him on lean a little bit. What we're going to do here, we're going to make sure we connect with our colleagues on the radio in Liberia. And we also want to take this time to also play an interview or just a press statement by press interview actually with Honorable Yeke Okolo. We're going to use that. At least it's only going to be for like 6 to 7 minutes. We're going to play that while we await our audience to build up. Well, I want to say thank you to all of you for joining SKTV. Mr. Josh Binda is already here and he's going to be joining us shortly. Let me encourage all of you to share the show while we play this video by by Mr. Representative Yeke Kolba.
Honorable Kolba, welcome to the media.
Today,
Your dress are all in white. What is about your dress code today?
well, maybe there'll be some other funeral today.
So funeral, well. Honorable Kolba, former President George Weah just entered the country, and today, in fact, he was denied usage of the newly constructed Claire Marie Weah VIP Lodge. What can you say about that?
No, I don't think so. What you are saying, I don't think is correct because former president, we are still known to be the former president of this country. So I think he should be entitled to the VIP launch. So if you are saying that, it's not true.
Well,
I think Bwaka has served for the 5 years in government and served 12 years on Madam President will do that. So it's not true.
it was confirmed by the presidential press secretary Kula Fofana. According to her, that VIP launch is exclusively for president. But then vice president President Bwaka for presidents. That's what she said.
For president.
Yeah. So but then when Vice President Jeremiah Kun was leaving the country, he used that VIP launch. But today, former President George Weah was denied, including his wife.
Look, the Unity Party-led government has decided with which one, and we need to stop that. I think what President Bwaka should be doing is to reconcile this country. To have a man that you did not win with a majority vote, turn out to say you have won the election. That means that person is a reconciler. That person wants peace in this country. To see Joseph Boakai, that everybody, including myself, say you're a reconciler, I don't want to believe that. If that is true, that is witch hunt. That is against everything humanly possible. You understand what I'm saying? President Boakai need to be very careful. He's moving on the wrong path. He's moving on the wrong path. And he's setting bad precedents for people that are working with him. We did not change government to witch hunt. We did not change government for the government to behave in the manner and form in which this government is behaving. These people have become dictators, and they must stop it. President Bwaka is proving to be someone that did not even sit for the vice presidential position ever in the history of this country.
Honorable Yeke, what do you mean to reconcile? What is reconciliation to you? How do you reconcile people?
Well, looking at President Dr. George Weah, that was defeated with nothing less than 15,000 votes, and the person conceded to say congrats, that means you must respect the person. But President Bwaka do not have respect for himself. That's why he is proceeding. Everything that is happening, we hold him responsible for it. We elected President Bwaka. We never elected people to proceed the way they are proceeding. And this government, like I said, this government has failed already. To the fact that people have started to implore their family people.
They haven't even been good 60 days.
Look,
You
somebody
say
can
the
come in 2
government
days and become a
failed.
failure. Somebody can come in 2 days and become a failure. The way I campaign for this government, nobody in the country campaign for this government. But the government is bringing themselves to shame and disgrace. Joseph Baker will regret knowing the name Yeke Koliba. Joseph Baker will regret why Yeke Koliba voted for him and campaigned for him. I will not regret voting against Ambassador President George Weah because people said they want to change. The change have come. And what are we seeing the change? The only thing we see is Yomli Kanga employing her family people, Jeremiah Kun employing his family people, Spring Moy employing his family people, Joseph Baker employing his family people. What are we heading to? What are we heading to? It's not regret. I will not regret, but they will regret it. And we are in there for 6 years. If somebody think people can say, "Oh, we'll not vote for you again," take you for the first vote. It was because of my stand, my criticism, that way you voted for me. You're not voted for me because I'm in. Why you not voted for other people? Jeremiah Kun had his son campaigning against me, wearing Joseph Baker t-shirt, picture with Jeremiah Kun picture on t-shirt that is on my page. Go and see it. But people came to vote for me because of my consistency. And I'm going to remain consistent. All the things I'm saying, are they false? All the things I'm saying, are they false? President Baker said he worked for 45 years. You don't know that 10 you people are covered with laws? You don't know that? You sending against us to harass the people? I never knew that President Baker could be against us. President Baker have become against us. Look at what happened on the LU campus. Why they brutalizing for? Don't get concerned. Reconciler. Joseph Baker, they say, "Oh, you're old man. You're old man, you're reconciled." Joseph Baker have become an embarrassment or disgrace to the country. You know what to reconcile the situation with the LU students? You have concern. So you can handle it. Small thing that you can handle. What can you handle? Can you handle the country problem? Joseph Baker don't know nothing happening around him. He sat down there with a 45-year experience. Joseph Baker not even get 2 years experience job.
None of our president is back. Do we expect you visiting the president?
I'm looking for his location.
Will you even reconcile with the former president? Now you're talking about reconciliation.
As I'm leaving for here now, I'm going to find where the former president is. I'm going to his house. Anywhere here, I will meet him. The former president was wrong by seizing my baby passport. Now I said, former president, because you seized my baby passport and the way you are proceeding, we are going to ensure that he become one-time president. And now that he has become one-time president, we're going to reconcile now. Anywhere he had, the manner and form in which they denigrated the former president, the manner in which and form in which they denigrated the former president to the airport is wrong. Joseph Baker should understand that the finger he's showing another one coming to him, he should expect what he's doing to the former president to happen to him. And if it is during my term as president, I may be on the ballot.
In 2029?
I'm coming, boss man. When you rush to me, I'm going to get my car to go because I'm going to see.
Go ahead.
I'm going to see former president Dr. George Weah.
Go ahead.
At the same time, I'm going to meet him.
Go ahead.
Well, I've been calling him by that name. When you and somebody got some confusion got talk. Look at the situation with Joseph Baker. When Jeremiah Kun said Joseph Baker will not remember nothing. Joseph Baker will not remember nothing in 2023. His brain will not remember nothing. Who said me as vice president today? So this country, apart.
Yeah, so folks, I want to say thank you to all of you. I'm sorry I was muted for a second. I want to welcome all of you to SKTV this morning, this afternoon, this evening, depending where you are. As you can see, Melbourne is all set and ready on the radio in Liberia. Also with us today is Mr. Josh Binda, who is an aspirant, very young and energetic Liberian, Liberian American, no matter, it doesn't matter how you put it, but he's a very young man who is actually aspiring to be in the United States Congress. Something that is very, very encouraging. And I think Mr. Binda is here to make the case, to introduce himself to the Liberian people and to the American people as a whole, to the world, so that maybe you can be of help to him to help him achieve his dream, which is to become a lawmaker in the United States. Mr. Josh Binda, how are you doing? And welcome to SKTV.
Yeah, well, first I want to say thank you both for giving me the opportunity to come here and speak to you guys and speak to you guys' audience here in Liberia. It's an honor. I appreciate the platform you guys are giving me to come and talk about this. I guess the first thing I want to do is introduce myself. My name is Josh Binda. I'm 24 years old currently right now. I'm living in Washington State. Both my parents are from Liberia and came here in the late 1990s after the civil war that was going on in Liberia and all the things happening there. My dad happened to win one of those international lottery visas during the time and was able to come to the US with my mom and 1 year old brother at the time. And so once they came here, about 2 years later, I was born in Providence, Rhode Island. So I'm originally from the East Coast, but came here to the West Coast in my later years when my dad got a job at Boeing here in Washington State. And so I moved out here with my dad and been out here in Linwood, Washington ever since. And a little bit more about my background. Right now, I'm already a currently elected official. I'm already a politician. In 2021, after doing a lot of years of activism and community work, I was getting involved right out of high school. I was doing a lot of community work. I decided that I was going to run for office at the age of 21. And I was challenging at that point a 20-year incumbent, an older white woman at the time who never lost a race. She was very well known in the community. And then I was a college student at the time. So I was 21 years old going to the University of Washington as a college student, but decided that I think it's time for change. I think people want to move in a different direction. I think people are ready for a new voice. And so at that time, I remember telling my dad and telling my family that I'm thinking I'm going to want to run for office here. And at first, obviously, when you hear 21-year-old running for office, it doesn't sound like something that's feasible. It doesn't sound like something that is ordinary. But for me, I think I just realized that, and I think a lot of my blessing, I say, comes from God. I think when God has a destiny for you, has a purpose for you, all you can do is really follow it and obey. And so when God put that calling on my heart to do so, I took a gap year in my college that year and challenged this 20-year incumbent to for her position in the Linwood City Council here in the city that I live in now. And so, Renner, it was a really rough campaign. It's one of the biggest things. Got a lot of national media, got a lot of local media attention because at 21, if I was to win this race, I would be the youngest African American in our state history to ever get elected to our office here, and I'd be one of the youngest politicians in the country. So it was a lot of national attention and media when I first ran for my first office here. And God be the glory. Long story short, in November, I was able to win that election and became the youngest African American in U.S. and state history ever get elected, and one of the youngest politicians in the country currently. That was 3 years ago. And since then, I've been able to do a lot of things in the community. I've been able to get a lot of things passed for our community, millions of dollars in funding for our parks and recreation, tens of thousands of dollars in funding for our mental health clinicians and our people in our community that need it the most. Since then is why I started my own business. I'm a founder of my own business here. It's called Josh Binda Speaks LLC, where I'm a motivational speaker. I'm speaking to universities, elementaries, middle school students all across the state and country. I was invited to the White House earlier last year to speak to the National League of Cities, the delegates all across the country down there last year. And I just a couple months ago self-published my first book ever. It's called Breaking Barriers, and so it's on Amazon. And so it's a self-help book to help people work through breaking through barriers in their lives. Depression, anxiety, trauma, and to not let anything in their life, become a barrier to help them not succeed. I think a lot of times we set barriers ahead of ourselves, so we're kind of our own worst enemies in some ways. And so the whole part of this book is a workbook where you can journal in it. There's chapters that talk about how you can break through certain barriers, whether that's certain things that are stopping you and hindering you from living up to your full potential. So I just self-published that book a couple months ago. It's been selling really well on Amazon, and I'm finishing up right now. I'm on my second school tour. I took a school tour last year where I spoke to over 30,000 students across the state. Now I'm on my second school tour right now. I actually have a school I'm going to be speaking at tomorrow and a couple universities this weekend. So I'm doing a lot of this work in the community. And I've been given a lot of awards. I was just the 425 Business Magazine 30 Under 30 top brightest young professionals 2022 a couple of years ago, and I've been winning a lot of these things. And so coming into this year, I felt like the next step for me now, 3 years into my um, being in a city council member right now, was to take it to the next step. And I'm doing all this work now. Now I want to be able to amplify and do work at the national level. And I've already been on the national stage. I've already been in that kind of work. So I just felt like it's the progression of this is where I want to be. And I think at our national stage of politics in the U.S. especially, there's not a lot of representation, especially from people in our community, and especially from people in the Black community, in the African community as a whole. And there's not a lot of representation for people in my generation in general. Like I'm 24, and there's not many young people in those positions that can bring those voices to the table to advocate for the things that not only the world was before, but what the world is currently, and the problems that are happening, and the things our community needs. And, I think we're lacking that kind of representation right now. And so I think me seeing that gap and seeing that void, one, it felt like this is the year to step up and be able to challenge that. And I'm challenging again another 20-year incumbent, older white established man who's been there since basically 2001. And so I'm going to be going up against him. And so it's been a journey. It's been a long journey to get to this point. I've also faced a lot of adversity, being a young Black man in this space where, there's not many people that look like us or like us in this space. They're going to come at you any way they can. They're going to try to derail you. They're going to try to sidetrack you. They're going to try to make you feel like you're not competent enough to serve. And I want the young people, whether you're here, Liberia, wherever you are, to see this as an example and see me as an example that people are ready for us to step up now in our communities to be leaders. I was really surprised when I was going door to door and I was talking to older people in the community. And I'm thinking these people are going to look at me. I'm 21. They're not going to think I have a chance. They're not going to think I'm even worth talking to. And then I go to their doorstep and I talk to them. And they're like, oh, my goodness, thank God. Finally, a young person stepping up to want to do it. They're waiting for us to step up. We just have to do it, and that's something I learned. And that's what I'm doing right now as I'm getting ready to run for Congress here, is getting ready to step up and be that leader. And if I was to win this race, is another big landmark. I'd be the youngest African American in U.S. history to ever go to Congress, ever, in our country. And so it's a big deal. It's been getting a lot of media attention. It's already gotten a lot of attention. So there's a lot of things going on right now. And I really want to come on this platform to, one, talk to you guys, talk to my community, let them know what's happening, because it's a big deal for the Liberian community. It's a big deal for our people as a whole to be able to have someone that could potentially achieve something that's U.S. history. It's never been done. And so I wanted to come on here and make our community aware of what's happening. And I would love to also come on here and advocate and would love to get support from our community in Liberia or wherever we can. Obviously, as you guys know, races like this are expensive. It takes a lot of people power and a lot of money and a lot of things to run a congressional race like this. And so I would like to come on here and see if people would be interested. They could donate to the campaign, they could support. And I could send you those links so people can know where to donate and support. But this is a big deal for our community. And I really want to come on here and talk about that, answer any questions or anything that you guys may have as well. And for you guys to get to know me and who I am as an individual as well.
Wow. Anyway, I am I am overwhelmed, to be honest. That's the only word I can use right now. I'm very, very much overwhelmed. And first off, if you don't mind, I want you to get in the middle of your camera a little bit, kind of a little bit on the side.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, I want people got to see you clearly as to who you are.
Yeah.
Yeah. So first off, at young age, when you were 21, you ran for city council and you defeated somebody who was there for 20 years.
Yeah.
And now you are embarking on another journey where you want to go to serve in the United States Congress. And at this age, you say you have written a book.
Yeah. Yeah, self-published. It came out December. It's called Breaking Barriers. And so
Breaking
it's
barriers. So
Mhm.
yeah, so I mean, if you don't mind, you can share the information with us. Maybe we can
Mhm.
also help you, promote the book. Maybe you get a lot of people.
Yeah.
I mean,
I've been going on a book tour.
who don't want to see an inspiration young man, a Liberian, a progressive minded person at this level. I mean, I'm very much impressed. You see, I wish I was in Washington to vote for you. Yeah, because I'm so much, impressed. At your age, The only thing I would say, in order for many of our people to really understand the magnitude to which you have gone, right? And where you're aspiring to do, just slow down a little bit when you talk. In the English,
Yeah. Sorry
the
about
English,
that.
the
Sorry
English
about
we
that.
speak here, and if you want to speak to a Liberian audience, you have to somehow, just slow down. You don't have to, you know, change the dictions, but just slow down a little bit so they can get,
Of
they can
course.
grab everything you're saying. But so far, for everyone listening and watching you here, people are very much impressed. Starting with me, you know, to see a young man at your age, 21, the audacity alone, the courage to say, you know what, I'm going to run for office. In this America, I know what it is. I know it's not easy. But for you to aspire to run for office and win a city council, now you're working in the state government already in Washington. And now you're aspiring to go to serve in the United States Congress. First, I will tell you congratulations
Thank
on
you.
the winning, congratulations on the book, congratulations on what you are aspiring to do, and I wish you all the best. Now, first question: what motivates you to say, I want to run for office?
Hmm. There's a lot of things I could say that motivated me. I think obviously for me, um, one of the biggest motivators is definitely my dad. Definitely my dad. And even my mom as well. My dad has always been someone that, even since we were younger and stuff like that, he's made a lot of sacrifices coming to this country, not knowing many people here, having to, earn himself, find a way of make living in the country here from Liberia. He's always pushed himself to be the best version of himself and to succeed, and because of his willingness to push himself beyond the barriers that he was set, the expectations that he was given to succeed. Me seeing that growing up, it only makes me more motivated as a person as well, to know that if my dad can do what he did to this country and came here in his late 30s and stuff like that, and was able to get to where he's at right now, working at Boeing and doing what he's at, what can I do being born here with the opportunities here and do what I can do? It's that natural inspiration that I think I felt, um, knowing that, my parents, my mom, who does a lot of work too, who's a nurse now, who has her own house and doing all of that, seeing them not be complacent and continue to elevate and grow from where they're at, me being born here, it only makes me know that I have to continue moving in a further direction to surpass that. So I think that's the motivation. Another motivation is God. I say this all the time. I tell people all the time, this is not something that I saw for myself. It really was not. I did not see myself as a politician growing up. I was very into sports. I was an athlete. I was playing sports. I was getting involved in a bunch of other things. Um, but I just felt a calling towards this type of work, because I knew there was a lot of disparities that my community was facing, and the lack of representation, and the lack of having true voices at the table that are going to advocate for the people that are in the most need. There's a lack of that. And I think throughout my activism that I got involved into, I was protesting in the streets. I was getting involved in community organizing. I was doing a lot of things in that way. Me seeing that, okay, this is okay, this is good. We're able to vocalize, we're able to advocate for these things from the outside. But as you all know, the only true change happens through legislation, through policy, through reform, through the things that actually go in to the law. That's a real change. And so me recognizing that, I decided that I wanted to be that change. If I couldn't get people to change the laws, and so I wanted to be the person to step up and be that change. And so I think that's a huge motivation for me. And seeing, I think even myself, I grew up where we initially grew up in Rhode Island. We didn't have money. We were struggling all the time. There was not a lot of resources for us growing up. Our parents did their best to raise us in the environment that we had, but we did not. We were raised in a very impoverished area, and me seeing the lack of representation, the lack of resources, the education system wasn't the best. All these things that set people up to succeed in life, we didn't have. And so when I moved across the country to Washington, and I was able to see what it's like to have better education, what it's like to be in a better environment, what it's like to have resources. Once I saw the difference, I realized that I wanted to be an advocate and fight for people that don't have that same access, that don't have those same resources, because there are many people that are just like me where I grew up that were brilliant, that had a lot of potential, but because of their environment and because of the lack of resources would never be able to live up to their full potential. And so once I saw that, I decided that I wanted to be someone that could step up and be a representation to make sure that people like that still have the same access and the same resources to be able to be who they meant to be in this world. And so there's a
Wow.
lot of motivating factors in that.
Well, thank you so much. You got me kind of almost teared up, and a lot of people tearing up for you because it's not because of we say anything sad, but these are tears of joy. See a son of a Liberian, to see a Liberian child aspiring to serve the U.S. Congress and what you have already achieved. That alone should be a motivation for other young people that look like you. You know, you keep mentioning our community, our community. You were born right here. How and why are you stay attached? How are you so much attached to the Liberian community, even though you were born here?
Yeah. And that's a good question. For me, growing up, so we have Liberian communities even here in the U.S. As you probably know, there's Liberian organizations, there's Liberian gatherings or stuff like that. So growing up as a kid, my mom and dad made sure to take us to our Liberian organizations. We hung out with all our Liberian communities. I grew up around our Liberian kids, and so I was always connected. They made sure to make sure that we stayed connected to our community and knew our roots and knew where we came from and knew how to continue to recognize that it's important, to be connected in that way. And so me growing up, I still grew up in my community. I still ate fufu. I still ate all the rakasabali, everything. We still everything. My parents did never took away our culture. They always made us embrace it and recognize that's a part of the Liberian pride of who we are. And so I think for me, I growing up in that and recognizing that, yes, everything I'm doing in the US is US history, is this, is that, but I wear the Liberian pride. Everywhere I go, people know I'm Liberian. They know that's part of my heritage. They know that's where my family's from, because I want our community, I want people to know our community, we have people that can make a difference in this world. We have change makers, we have world shakers. I want people to know that. So when they see the Liberian community, they know what we're about. And so I think growing up for me, I was always around our culture. I was always around our people. And so naturally, me seeing that, as you know, even here, I think there's something that why I wear so passionately, because a lot of people here, we have a lot of generational trauma ever since the president of Liberia at the time, the corruption that was going on, our people were getting slaughtered, and people were able to escape to the U.S. But even coming here, there's a lot of generational trauma that our people have suffered. And so it's important to, once you recognize the history of Charles Taylor and everything that happened and everything that led to our people, my parents coming here, and the war and all that happened. um it's for me, I wanted to be a symbol of how our people have overcome so much and are still going to continue to conquer and not going to fall down and not going to let any history of ours stop us from being the great people that we're meant to be. And so I recognize that and I wear that with me and I wear that pride with me everywhere I go. And so I think that's a big part of why I'm still connected to my community. I say my community because this is my community and I represent my community everywhere I go. And I want people to know that's where I'm from. I want people to know what my people have been through and will continue to be going forward because we now get to dictate. Since then, we can dictate where our community goes. And it's up to my generation now to continue to push us forward, continue to move us forward. And
Yep.
and, and that's what I'm looking to do.
And thank you so much. And I cannot reiterate this enough to tell you how much I'm proud of you. And I know many Liberians are proud of you. So, speaking of your community, our community, what kind of help you need from your community for you in order for you to realize your dream? What you're trying to do right now, what you're trying to aspire to get to right now is a big deal.
Yeah.
I know it's a big deal. And I know it comes with a lot of challenges. So, my question to you, how can this community impact your journey in a positive way? What kind of help do you need from the Liberian community, both in Liberia and in the diaspora or anywhere they may find themselves, especially Liberians who are proud to see one of their sons
Yeah. And
growing
I
up and behaving as you are doing right now? A lot of people right now, they admire you and they are proud of you. So what kind of help do you need from them?
yeah.
And how can they
And
help?
I want to re-emphasize why this is so important. Even me being a congressional member, there's a lot of things that I could do to even help impact Liberia itself as a country and work with even the people in Liberian government and be able to help bring. There's a lot of things. There's a lot of power that wields in being a Congress member here in the U.S. to be able to help lobby and bring certain issues and bring certain funding to certain things. And so that's important. I want people to recognize how big that is for our community in that way, to have a representation of someone in Congress to be able to help bring even our country's voice to the table. Um, and I think the biggest thing, like I said, the biggest thing support that I can get from my community at this point is I think I mentioned earlier how expensive these races are. My last race that I ran for city council, I was able to raise about close to about 30 grandish plus, which is good for a city council race. This race is going to take a lot more money to run, and I'm challenging an incumbent that's been there for over 20 years. And so he already has, as you can imagine, the corporations, the big corporations backing him, and all these big, businesses backing him that want to put money into his campaign, millions to take me on. And so the biggest support I could get, I would say, is having our people, I don't care how small, how big, whatever they can contribute, but to be able to donate to my campaign, to be able to help me support financially so I could be able to combat all the big corporations and money from my challenger that they're putting into his race. I think that's one of the biggest support I could get is fundraising right now. And so I don't know if you would need my donation link, if I could send that to you and you could post about it and say, hey, this is where you could donate.
Definitely. So what we're going to do before we even leave, we will provide all the method that you can use to receive donation and support. And then beyond that, we will also have your information posted
Hmm.
on the page. And I will encourage you to come back even
Of
after
course.
today, where we can have a full show doing just fundraiser, because
Hmm.
this is like the introductory aspect of the whole journey for people to know who you are, what you do, what you have done. And you're sounding very encouraging, very impressive. So I'm gonna ask you one more question, then I'll go to my colleagues. Maybe they have one or two questions to ask you.
Hmm.
So, how are you being received by other people outside of your color, outside of your, community? Like, other people, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, how are you being received?
So, and I want to put this out there just so you're aware. Um, my community, the city of Linwood, right now that I was elected to, the city right now that I represent, is 83% white. 83% white. It's only 3% black. And so I challenged an older white woman in a white community, 83% white community, and destroyed her in a primary race. I think I got 45%, she got 29% in the primary, and she's an incumbent. People here, that should speak to something. In a white community, to be able, a young black man, to challenge an older white woman and win that huge 16-point margin. People here are ready for change. They're ready for young people to step up, and they want representation. They want people of diverse backgrounds. I've been received. Most of my constituents in this district are white. They're not Liberian. They're not even black. I think the black population in my district is 3%. 3%. The rest are Asian, white, predominantly white, Latino, and I think Indian. And in a district like this, I was able to win that big. And that goes to show that people see beyond my color, they see beyond my community, they see a young man who is going to be the change. With a message that resonates, a powerful message that resonates and sees beyond, transcends beyond any ethnicity, any color, but just a powerful leader that's ready to step up and be the change. That's what they see. They don't see
All
me
right.
as just, you know.
Thank you, Josh. Brazilian Monk, welcome to the show. Today, we promised to bring Mr. Josh Binda on. I got to know him through his dad. His father is a good man. He's one of SKTV follower and supporter. And we also got to know him through one of the sisters here, one of the most biggest supporter of SKTV, Roof. So, like somebody knows somebody and somebody knows somebody else. That's how things can go, life can go.
Hmm.
And if you continue to, open up, you don't know where you will learn. And now, Josh, I can promise you, uh, this is going to be a long journey, but I think you are starting on a very good footing. And I believe you will be embraced by Liberians across. So, Brazilian Monk, welcome. And Melbourne, do you have, Melbourne, let me go to Melbourne first. Melbourne, do you have any question for Josh?
Thank you. Yes, indeed, I have two questions. But first of all, I want to say, Josh Binda, thank you so much for the bold step, and thank you for making Liberia proud.
Thank you. Of course.
All right. So indeed, I have two questions. The first question has to do with you going as maybe independent candidate, or you will be running on another party ticket. Then the second question is, what would be your advice for Liberian youth back home?
So,
Very good questions.
and those are two good questions. To answer your first question, I'm running as a Democratic Party candidate. I'm a Democrat in this district. I ran as that my first campaign, and that's what I'm running again now. But I'm also challenging an incumbent Democrat. So we're two people in the same party, actually, that are challenging one another. So that's what's transpiring right now. Um, and to answer your second question, advice I'll give young people back home. Man, there's a lot of advice I could give our young people back home. Even me being a young person. First of all, I want to recognize how, as much as my parents came here and I'm Liberian, this and that, I also have a certain level of privilege that a lot of Liberian youth don't have that opportunity. They were not able to come to the United States. Their family, they grew up in Liberia. Some of them grew up in the rural areas. Some of them grew up in different areas. So in a way, I want to recognize that God has blessed me with the opportunity that a lot of Liberian youth have not had that chance. So I happen to be blessed in that way. So I want to recognize that first. But the second thing I want to really emphasize what our Liberian youth can do is I feel like for them to recognize that they're never too young, they're never too disadvantaged, they're never too, you know, looked down upon, whatever ways you want to look at it, to be something in this world, to be something different, to step up and be leaders, to be something, to be the change, and to step up in however way that looks like. That they're not too young, they can be a leader. Some of the biggest leaders in our world were young men and women who stepped up, and that they're not too young. And with regardless of their circumstances, if they have hard work, if they have work ethic, if they have discipline, and if they have the ability to never give up, they will always be able to achieve what they put their minds to. You have to be resilient. The world isn't going to hand you what you want. You're going to have to go and be resilient and fight for it. Everything I've ever gotten, everything I've ever been able to achieve, most people only see the glitz and the glamour, the award ceremonies and the celebrations, but they don't see the hours and hours and hours of preparation, the sleepless nights, the nights where I didn't even have, I went hungry, I didn't have food, I didn't have they didn't see those. Most people will never see those nights. They'll see you when you're on the stage and when you're being celebrated, but there's a lot of hard work and a lot of preparation and a lot of discipline and a lot of strength and a lot of things. Even me growing up in the U.S., I've had to overcome a lot of adversity to even be here. And there's many times where I wanted to quit. There's many times I wanted to give up. And because I chose to stay strong and to stay steady and to not let that stop me from being who I was called to be, I was able to accomplish it. So that's another advice. And one more thing I'd like to say to our Liberian youth: it's important to find, in order to find your purpose, you have to find your why. What makes you drive? What drives you? What is your why? What is your reason? For me, my why, when I wanted to give up, when I felt like there was no hope, when I felt like there was nothing for me to continue pushing me, it was my why, which was my family. It was everything they sacrificed. It was everything they've gone through. And when I recognize, even on the darkest nights when I was struggling, I was suffering, I don't know if I could do this. I don't know if I'm built for this. I don't know if this is meant for me. I think about all the things that my family had to overcome, everything that my dad, my sister, and my mom had to overcome to put me in my position. And because I had that deeper sense of purpose, even if I wanted to quit, it didn't allow me to quit. I said, okay, if I quit, who am I? What if my dad, who was struggling in the village, whose mom didn't even speak English, look at English, that was struggling, had nothing, grew up dirt poor, and came to this country? If he could overcome all that, who am I to sit here in America and quit? What kind of person am I? You know? And so,
Yes, thank you so much, Josh. The sense of purpose. That's the major driving mechanism behind what you do. I mean, that why is a big deal.
Mhm.
Um, Mr. Brazilian Monk, are you there, sir?
Yeah, I'm here.
You have any question for Josh?
Well, first and foremost, kudos to the young man. I'm very proud of him because not too many of his age group will pursue politics in America. Because there's a country of opportunity. You can aspire to do a lot of things, and technically, young people are not too attracted to politics in this country. So to see someone
yeah,
of his age to be running for U.S. Congress is such an amazing thing. I just got two questions for him. One of those questions is, which lawmaker actually inspire you, and which, I mean, from a philosophical standpoint, because we know you live in an ideological society, you're either liberal or you're conservative. Maybe you might be an independent, but an independent is technically half and half. You say it comes down to the two party, either way you look at it. So, which philosophical argument that you're leaning towards in terms of your policy push, something that you aspire to do? Because
yeah,
when you say, when you use phrases like I got my why. That's a personal thing. When you're running for public office, you're seeking the interest of thousands, if not millions of people.
mhm,
So I want to know which fundamental philosophical agreement you got with either of the two political institutions in America.
of
Something
course.
that's
And
really
those are two very, very good questions. I say, in terms of people, a person that has inspired me politically, there are two people. Um, One's the late John Lewis, who's a very great American Black politician who was an activist when he was around my age and did a lot of activism work near Martin Luther King Jr., who was a very renowned activist and pastor and leader in our country. So John Lewis was someone that started off as an activist and then ended up going to U.S. Congress later on. He was arrested for all his activism work. He was very well known, very powerful man. So John Lewis was one. And obviously, as you know, the first Black president we've had in this country, Barack Obama. I remember when I was 8 years old and seeing that man win presidency and being able to see someone that looked like me, that came, the same color, same representation as a Black person at least, hold an office like that, made me realize that it was possible. That it's doable. A lot of times, sometimes we just have to see something that looks like us in a position for us to realize we can do it too, And so I think those are two people politically, at least, that have inspired me. And to answer your question, my philosophies, I'm someone that I have liberal views in some things and some more conservative views in other things, I would say. But I think something I've recognized is what's made me a leader and what's made me someone that I can be, someone I am, is obviously as a man of God, as a man of faith, there's certain things that I believe in and there's certain things that I disagree with. But what I've been able to do, I've recognized, I wholeheartedly believe you cannot consider yourself a leader if you can only lead people that think like you or people that look like you or people that are like you. A leader of few is not a leader. You have to be, in order to be considered a leader, you have to be a leader of all. And that's something that I recognize. And so for me, what I do is I'm able to, whether I agree or disagree with certain ways of living or certain policies or certain things, my goal is to put my people that I'm leading in a position where they at least have the ability to choose what path they want to take and have the freedom to choose certain things. That's the best position I can as a leader. Whether I personally agree with it or not, I leave my personal opinions out of politics, and I just put myself to allow people the freedoms that come with what being in the United States is, whether I agree with it or not. I think as a leader, that's what we're called to do. You're meant to allow people to lead people to be able to make their own decisions, as long as it's not harming or doing any damage to anyone else. That's what comes with the freedoms of being in the U.S. And I think this whole thing was separation of church and state. And I tried my best to separate my personal beliefs from the government, because like I said, if you can only lead people that think like you and look like you, I don't consider you a leader. A leader is a leader of all. And so my best position is being able to take my own personal opinions and my personal thoughts out of politics and just make logical decisions that make sense and allow people to have the freedoms and the liberties to make their own decisions. That's what I can do as a leader, and that's what I choose to do. And so, like I said, I have different views socially, economically. I say economically, I'm probably a little more conservative. Socially, I'm probably a little more liberal. A lot of people do their thing. Doesn't mean I agree with it, but it means I'm going to allow people to make your own decision. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the best thing I could do. I don't have to agree with you, but as long I'm going to allow you to make your own decision, as long as I'm breaking the law, I can do that. And I think that's what we need to get to that state in politics as a whole. I think there's too many politicians that are allowing their personal bias and their opinions dictate their policies. And that's where we go wrong, because people don't think like us. Not everybody has the same beliefs as us. And when you do that, you're discounting some people that don't think like you. And so if I'm called to be an unbiased leader, I have to take those voices and those people in consideration. So all I can do is allow people to have the freedoms of choice, whether I agree with it or not. But as long as within the legal bounds and limits and it's not harming anyone else, that's what I can provide as a leader.
Wow. That's a great general philosophy when it comes to politician. But I think then it would be logical for you to run as an independent, because from your response you say I'm liberal on some issue and I'm a conservative on some issue. So,
And so the reason it's challenging to run as an independent in the U.S. You probably know, even in the party system here, it's more challenging to run as independent because you're not going to have backing of a party. You're not going to have backing. There's a lot more fun. So it's more challenging. And so the reason why I lean Democrat is even though there's some policies that I'm not more liberal on, I agree with the fact that people at least have the choice to make their own decisions. That's all I'm saying.
So
But
technically, what you are saying, you are an independent, but in order to enter the Congress, you're going to lean towards one party, kind of like the Trump mentor, and enter
My man,
Congress.
don't be a Donald Trump thing here, man. That's
But that's
not
what Trump did.
nothing to do. That
That's
man
what-
got nothing to do with Trump. Please,
No,
don't be
but
nothing
that's
here.
what Trump did. He got an independent man. Because if I were to go and drill him,
This young man got me.
Sekou, let me just say something.
Yeah, go
This
ahead.
young man, he got a lot of prospect. He's a very smart man. He got a great leadership ability. He got a great leadership philosophy. But this is American politics. Whether you are independent or not, you have to lean towards one party because he said he's
Yep.
liberal on some issue and he conservative. And I believe he's somebody of faith because he talked about separation of church and state, which
Yeah.
I believe. So listening to him, he sounds more like center to right as compared to center to left. So my question is, why would you want to run as a Democrat?
And Monk, let me tell you this. I also want you to understand that the young man is in a state
Mhm.
that is highly liberal.
Okay, now it makes sense. Now
You have to understand that.
I got it.
And I know that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
Because-
that's a smart
because-
move.
Yeah. So, regardless of the politic,
He will appeal to a lot of them.
in order for you to
To boot
change
your way,
policy, in order
have to
for you
enter.
to make things happen, you have to be in there first.
you got to be there first. You got to win.
How will
That's
you
it.
get
That's
there?
right. Yeah.
You have to be with the people.
Because I listen to
And-
the young man.
And the young man is very smart,
Yeah.
intelligent, and overall, you are very inspirational when you speak.
Mhm.
You get a lot of people cheering up. Trust me.
Yeah, he got a lot of
And
people.
when you talk about, you use John Lewis, somebody that I also follow, and also Barack Obama. I know you were very young. You were younger when Barack Obama became president. When we follow the campaign, we somehow participated. So for you to have used those two people, it says a lot about you. You are a leader. You are a leader at this age, and you will be a very good leader if you will get the opportunity to serve. And I wish you all the best. So I wanted to take a few calls from people, but before we do,
Mhm.
I want you to make sure you provide me the information as to how people can support you, how people can contribute to a campaign now and beyond. Because the journey is just getting started.
Oh yeah.
Now you're going to be fighting somebody to go through the primary. After the primary, you're going to be facing the Republican, challenger. If you win, I'm sure when you win, because
So this is the interesting thing. Before I want to enter. So most states is exactly what you said. There's a Democratic nominee and a Republican nominee, and the top two go to the primary.
Yeah.
Washington State is different. So
Okay.
Washington State, we don't have a party nominee. We have something called an open primary.
Okay.
So what that is so right now there's 4 people in my race, right? I'm a Democrat. The incumbent is a Democrat. There's a Republican and there's a Green Party candidate. So there's 4 candidates in our race. So instead of it being the top Democratic nominee and the top Republican nominee in an open primary, it's just the top 2, regardless of party, regardless of anything. It's the top 2 most voted go to the general. So
Okay.
what it's looking like in this race, the other 2 people I'm not too worried about. So what it's looking like is going to be me and this man named Rick Larson, who's another Democrat. So it's going to be a Democrat on Democrat race winning in the after the primary going to the general election. So
Okay.
Republicans are going to have to choose between 2 Democrats. This is what it's looking like to represent them. And
Okay. So somebody trying to challenge you here, even though you're Liberians and you talk about your community, the Pamboto, the Tobogi, the cassava leaf, but somebody say Can you speak little Liberian to them?
See, that's okay. That's my one weakness. I don't know my native language. I mean, not.
But no. We're still Liberian. The person trying to say that you can speak like just the Liberian way of
The regular
speaking.
colloquial, the
The
pidgin
regular colloquial, the regular Liberian way of speaking. But you don't have to. I know it's funny.
I mean, I can a little, but not too. But that's the thing. I can't do too. I don't want to embarrass myself.
Exactly. Don't do it. Don't even do it. Don't mind that lady. She just want to pull your leg because people get so emotional. So she's trying to kind of like throw in some, so humor in there so people can laugh more. But it's okay. So Josh, what is the information that people can use to actually support you?
So let me come and text you the link here.
Yeah, text me the link.
So you have it. I'm gonna text it to your number.
Yeah, please. So do you have any other payment method like Cash App, Zelle?
So yeah,
that?
I can give you my Cash App. I can give you my Zelle. I'm mostly Cash App for me.
Yeah, okay. So what we're gonna do, you will give it to me. We will post it here. Anybody who wants to donate to your campaign, they will. But then after the show, with your picture and some of your campaign stuff, we will post them on the page. So people will go under there, whether or not we're on the show, people will go under there and see if they can contribute, to your campaign. And I think you are doing very good. I just want to make sure we,
So
get something while we
I
on the
just
way.
texted you my Cash App.
Okay, let me see this right here. Hold on. Josh Binda. So is it the same number that you tested me with?
Yeah.
Okay, then that's easy. So it's gonna I'm gonna pin the number. If anybody which to actually support him, you can do that. Cash app. If you can't do cash app, then you can do Zelle. Maybe you don't have a Zelle on that number, do you?
Not on.
If you don't,
There's another way people could donate as well. I can send this
yeah.
to you. It's a link strictly to. It's called the Act Blue. I'm gonna send it to you. Is people can just go on there and donate, directly.
Yeah, so you can send me that link as well. See if we can. I'm gonna paste the link right there under the. Let me see. Let me do this on the SPTV so that people will get it. Yeah. We gonna have about 5 minutes on the radio before we go to the news bulletin. And Josh has another engagement from here. See, so I just pinned the link right there. The link is right there. So you can click on that link that will lead you to go and donate, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I just pinned the link right there on the page. So anybody can click on it and then you will be able to, if you're watching from your phone, that link is there. It's not gonna move. But if you're watching on the computer, maybe it will go up and down. But whether you are watching on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, anywhere you are, you're still going to see that link. Just click on the link, it will take you directly to where you can donate. If you cannot do that, if you are kind of accustomed to using our normal thing here that we call Cash App or Zelle,
Yeah.
I'm gonna put his Zelle number, his Cash App number right here.
I want to emphasize, even if it's something small, anything helps. Don't think it's too
Of
small, too
course.
big. Anything will help in a race like this.
Yep. 425 232 8945. So yes, that's his Cash App. I also so the Cash App is right there. Okay, I just dropped the cash app here. That will be on the main screen. But then the one that's paying from your phone, the one that can't move from your phone, that one is the link where you can just click the link, then it will take you directly there. So Melbourne, we still got 3 minutes on the radio. Let me ask Josh another question.
Of
Is
course.
your dad watching today?
Yeah, he's watching. He's definitely watching.
He should be proud of you. And I'm
Yeah.
proud of him for being a good dad. Because you made mention of him for being one of your major inspiration for also keeping you in check and continuing to introduce our culture to you, to make you feel like a Liberian, to make you think you're a Liberian, to make you to know that regardless, even though you were born here, you are a Liberian. So I'm very proud of him. Your dad is also a community leader. He served the Liberian community. I met him, but I didn't know him that time.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a community leader, and he served his community so diligently. And now you are even passing him. You are going to your community. You are going statewide, now you are going federal wide. But I want to say thank you. We're going to do this again. Is there anything that we left out? Is there any question that I suppose I did not, maybe Mayborn did not, or Monk did not? Is there anything you want us to know before we go? We're going to come back again. I promise you, you know, I'm very much encouraged to bring you more, to help you in as much as I can to make sure that you are elected to represent us. So anything you want to add that we did not ask?
No, I think the only thing I want to ask, I want to say thank you to you three for just opening up your platform for me to come on here and talk about this. And I'm very, very grateful. I'm honored to be on this platform. And I look forward to coming on here more and being able to talk and have conversations. And any way that you guys can support me in this race would be so beneficial, because it's like the story of David and Goliath.
Yeah.
It's the story of David and Goliath. And so that's the thing. The man that I'm challenging, he's very out of touch with the community, and he's just gonna rely on big corporations. But when you have God and you have people power, there's nothing these people can do. And so I know I have God with me. I know I have the people with me, and there's a reason God's placing me right where I'm at right now for a purpose, to serve Him and to serve His kingdom. And so I'm just walking in that with. Trust me, I will tell you this: if it was my own will at 24, I would not think that this is something I'm capable of doing.
Yeah.
But just knowing the anointing, the spirit that God's blessed me with to walk in this journey, I feel as confident as I can be that this is the destiny, and I'll be someone to represent our community. I look forward to, once we win this, coming to Liberia and celebrating with our people and hosting something and bringing our people up and
Of
letting them know
course.
that we as a community made history. Something that's never been done. The youngest in U.S. history. And we'll continue pushing our community and put our country on the map and put our country in the forefront of U.S. politics. And that's what I look forward to doing, and coming back and representing us.
Wow. Thank you so much. We really appreciate your time. We appreciate your eloquence. We appreciate your understanding of politics, politics. I mean, U.S. politics and everything. We really, really, really appreciate your time, and we want to encourage you to come back. We're
And I
going to talk.
also want to say,
We're going to talk in
one
the
last
back.
thing.
Yeah.
I
Go
also
ahead.
want to say one more thing for everybody in the comments, everybody like this. Another thing, please keep me in your prayers. Please keep me in any kind of prayer you can give me. At this time, you already know, as God has blessed me and anointed me, there's a lot of enemy. There's a lot of people that don't want to see me succeed. There's a lot of enemies that will come and attack. So please pray for covering.
So from now on, keep checking your cash out. People I know our people here. I know them. they are very supportive. Small or big, whatever it is, they will support you. Somebody
Yeah.
just said that they already, started.
Yeah,
sending you
yeah, I'll be checking this. So that's
So
Yeah.
be checking your cash app.
I dropping something for my picking because I know he's a super conservative. I know
Ah,
he only pretending to be a liberal.
hey, don't fall for
I
that guy.
know
That guy is the Donald
what's
Trump
up.
guy.
I listen to the man. I know he's a social conservative. When he keep talking about God, he talking about separation of church and state. I know he's just from an ultra liberal state, so he must
Yeah.
pretend to be a Democrat. But he's a conservative. I know that. So Josh, I
So
will
so
submit to your
Judge,
campaign.
what you do as you receive, cash app or any support, you keep updating. Also, we'll be telling people thank you to encourage
Yeah.
other people, to keep sending, more, to your cash app.
Yeah, and
All
I'm
right.
seeing it coming
But
right now. So the live,
yeah,
I don't. And so
in
for
fact,
everyone that's donated,
one of my sisters sent. She wanted to send to you, but she sent the cash up to me $20. I'm going to forward it to you as well. So, so relax. We got you.
so it's for everyone donating. Thank you guys so much. God bless, and please keep me in your prayers on this journey so I can make this history happen and make our people proud and going forward. And I look forward to coming back to our hometown with a victory and celebrating. And I think it's gonna be a really amazing.
You will win. You will win. Inshallah, you will win. We pray for you. You will win.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
so go adjust only my picking part because I'm not going to add blue. Add blue, I know it's a liberal link. I mean, it just like I don't do anything liberal in my life, so
Okay.
I just
Hey,
got something to pop on him.
Brazilian, I'm coming. I will announce him. Hey, Josh, Brazilian just sent you $100, man.
Wow.
Yeah, he sent it to me. So you already got $120 with me right here. So you see that? I don't know what's going to you, but you're gonna get a lot of money today.
Thank you guys.
Our
Thank you
people
guys
will
so
support
much.
you. Trust me, they will support you. Brazilian mom, man, thank you so much. We appreciate it.
And I look forward to
So
coming
my
back.
people, everybody, if you just send to Josh, please, directly. That one I got the main number. I'm not going to remove the main number today. So, even though we're going to continue our quality, I'm going to keep that cash out number there. If you send anything to that cash out number, you're going to Josh. And today, SKT will not collect any money. Anything you want to send to or just send to him. We just want to help him today.
Thank you
So,
guys. Thank you guys.
So Josh, whatever, if you can send to him, you send to all, we say to send it to him. But it will be very easy if you just send to him directly. If you can't do that, blue, why you call that thing, Monk? Blue what?
It's act blue. It's act blue.
When you click on
Blue, so if you can't do that, blue, the guy say it's a liberal platform, so he doesn't want to pay money in there. Hey, Monk, but it don't matter how you send the money, just send it. But we appreciate you, Monk. Thank you so much. So, Josh, my man, hey there.
Thank you guys so much.
We'll try again. I will call you after the show, and then we'll update you. Right now, like I said, we already got 120. My sister sent 20. I mean, my brother Mon just sent 100. That $120 right there. We got already got one in the cash app here. So we will be sending them to you right after the show here. But thank you so much. We'll bring you again.
Thank you guys so much, and I look forward to coming back and being a part of it. And I look forward to your call afterwards. So you guys have a good rest of your day. I'm gonna get out of here and let you guys continue the show. But God bless, and I appreciate you all, and I look forward to having more conversations here shortly.
Thank you so much. So Brazilian Monk and I will be here until Melbourne can finish doing his thing. Melbourne is still here, but Melbourne is just muted. Melbourne listening, but they are playing the
news bulletin,
right? Yeah. So Melbourne, do not hesitate to send us message when you're done. So my people, we coming get to the other part of the show. I've been talking. What you laugh?
That trouble.
What you laughing for? Because you know the other part of the show is enough for fun.
Yeah, continuation.
We're going to get the other part of the show. So, like I was telling you guys, if you send money to Josh directly, that the main number is right there. Please, today, Umpa, you don't have to send money to SKTV. Let we all help this guy. That can be our part of contribution. Anything you get, let's send it to this boy to support him.
I'm proud of him. For a 24 years, I can't think about politics while
I mean, the brother is not only smart, but very, very eloquent. Some people got sharp mouth, but they're not smart. Some people can be playing with words, but they're not that intelligent. But this boy is so smart, intelligent, and eloquent. He's very measured. And he calculates well before he utter a word.
I love the kid. I like how he's thinking.
I
He's a
love him.
smart kid. They
I
really,
mean, I've talked to him a few times, but I've been,
Mhm.
his father and I've been having conversation and been very supportive of SKTV and stuff. He told me about this young man a long time ago.
Yeah.
And I
Well,
told him, no worries. Whenever you're ready, let me know. We'll bring him on and we will promote him. And we're going to promote him. Actually, we will be bringing him on periodically to do whatever we can do to make sure he's, he wins that election. I believe he's going to win.
I tried to trick the
So,
kid and he cut and you could figure it out. When I listened to him, I said, "But why you want to run as a Democrat?" He said, "No,
yeah.
I'm in Seattle. That's a super liberal state, and you know how the system is here."
Yeah, but I told you that, man. My man, I know that play. I know that play is a super liberal state.
The Piggies are conservative. I think the kid.
Yeah, he is. But the man got to play smart. And he's very, very
smart.
smart.
He
Imagine
smart.
at 21, the man was elected
Yeah,
in the city council.
yeah.
And
got
now
big
he's
heart.
aspiring to be representative. Can you imagine? This boy is smarter than some of our BB people, and I don't want to call their name. Yeah, because the boy is very measured, when he speaks. He knows exactly what he's talking about. So, yeah, it's our SKTV. We are here. We will do our best to help anybody. And moving forward, let me tell you, you other got businesses. Look at our boy Emmerich laughing because I say man smarter than some of our BB people. I know Emmerich, maybe they'll start calling people any. Then it will come after you.
Emory is a confusion that you know him already.
Emmerich full of trouble, right? So let me say this. Moving forward, those of you with businesses, those of you with your book, those of you with your school, those of you with different things. Moving forward, as you can see, I don't know whether you watch when you're watching I can see it. You can be seeing some commercial and be popping up here and there, right?
Yeah, for sure.
You're watching.
It be popping.
How many of you can see the little advertisement coming or popping up and stuff like that? That one, that's small money. Then Facebook want to start paying us.
For sure.
And not plenty because you're not sharing the show. If you can share the show, a lot of people can see it, can watch the show and share it. Then that will be helping also. Or beyond that, if you get your own business, you want to promote. You see, the 2 hour we get on the radio, your business will be promoted here on SKTV, will also be promoted on radio in Liberia. At least the small money we'll get from now on too, our people on the radio too, they too can get something for the data. You see that? I'm talking about business now. We're not talking about politics now. I'm talking about business. I'll talk about politics in a minute. But we got to find a way to make the money. If you get your business, whether you get a business in Minnesota, in Arizona, in Philadelphia, Washington State, Washington, D.C., Maryland, North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, Florida, anywhere you are, Texas, you can do your business. You can even do your own recording. If you don't want to do that, you can just give us information about it. Every now and then, we take at least 2-3 minutes break to market your business, to tell the word. SKTV got a lot of followers, a lot of people listen to us. So the more we talk about your business, the more people will follow you, the more people will buy from you. So your try to be promoting us to promote you. So if you get anything, advertisement, whatever you want to put out there for your business, if you are a politician, you want to, whatever you want to do, let us know. We will help you promote whatever you want to do. Now, back to politics. Monk, yeah, somebody said we need to talk about that. Yeah, please, anybody, if you need anything to advertise, let us know. Even if that $50, that $20, that $100, it depends how many times and how often you want your business to be announced. Whether that small video you as a creator send it to us, we can play them in the middle of the show, before the show, after the show, in the middle of the show. While people are listening, they can get your information about your business. It's very, very good. See, somebody said you got Kobo. You got Kobo, you get it. That means you will promote your Kobo. Or people then will be going to buy your Kobo. Because you know how many people listening to on the radio? A lot.
A lot.
Hundreds of thousands of people. The popularity people can get it not because we have the opportunity to go to everybody one by one, but people can listen to us in good numbers on radio, on Instagram, on Facebook, on YouTube. Imagine your business is on YouTube. It means that people will continue to listen to it not only right now, after the show, and over and over and over. As people come to watch the show, they will be listening to your stuff. So, Monk, today we learned that the former president was not giving the required respect or courtesy at the international airport.
Airport, yeah, I got that
And
news.
then I saw another post from the office of the president. I think the office of the president here, they will be responding to a lot of things. I saw another thing again. They keep begin to put out something to deny that whatever was alleged, it didn't happen, that the president was accorded the due courtesy. I'm not sure if that's what they did. And yesterday, the bombshell video that came out yesterday, I think we should start talking about that when we get back on the radio, because we got a lot of things coming out. We got a lot of information to share with the Liberian people. Yeah, but it's not easy. Hold on. What Nora is saying? Nora, what happened? Anything you want to advertise, you come here. You just gotta pay us. All you do, just pay us. When you pay us, we will advertise it. Yeah. So now we can help the people then without giving us money, though. People that need help, we can help them to do stuff for them for free. And the good thing, if you are a subscriber to SKTV, if you are a stakeholder to SKTV, even if you have business, you're not going to be paying the same amount other people will pay. Non-subscriber, non-stakeholder, non-member of SKTV will pay more than you that is a subscriber. So, Monk, before we jump on the radio, let me ask you this question regarding this young man that was here. If you were to open the line in Liberia now to listen to Liberian young people, this guy said something.
5 minutes of news coming from our newsroom, Truth FM. So, folks, we are continuing with the program, the SKTV, up to 8 o'clock on tonight. So, in this second, we are back after the news break.
Thank you, Mayborn, and thank you, Monk, and thank you, Truth FM, for sticking with us. I want to say thank you to everybody. So, my people, you will not forget that number you see up there. Josh Binda's number there, the young man who was just here, who was aspiring to be in the United States Congress. And I know he will win. We pray for him. But in order for the man to win, we got to help him to win. Helping him will be to support his campaign. The number you see over there, 425 232 8945. That is cash app there. If you can't do cash app, that thing that link with that I put over there, that link, you should click on that link. That's one of the easiest way to pay. People say they're waiting for the breaking news. Yeah, so Melbourne yesterday. But anyway, before I go there, let me ask Mong about the young man first. Mong, like if the young people listening to this young man, the guy is telling you that don't feel left out, don't feel looked down, don't feel because you don't have the opportunity that I have, but you can still be somebody. You just need a sense of purpose.
Yep.
How inspirational! I mean, for young people that were listening to this man.
He's a smart kid. What you were literally saying is success happens when preparation meets opportunity. So just by your present condition, you can see you got to look beyond your present condition because there will be opportunity that will come your way and you must be prepared and willing for that. From what I noted, he has an affinity for public office because if you are elected to the city council board in early 20s and now he's just 24, thinking about being a U.S. Congress member, it means sky's the limit for him. And the good thing about him is he got potential. He's 24, and yeah, the House seat is up every 2 years. So every three election cycle, he will just be like what 28. Can you imagine that?
They make him run for president.
Yeah, and the good thing, I think he's taking it from the Elon Omar playbook because he running against a popular Democrat that have been there for a very long time. And in America, people tend to get tired with people that have been in office for a long time. That's how Elon Omar won in Minnesota. It's not that because people buy into an ideology or philosophy, but the lady who was there, she was there for
Ocasio-Cortez too.
Yeah, they were there for 30 years. So I'm picking very smart. Like, no, this guy, even though he's a big name, but he been in the game for long. I can make the idea about cultural diversity. I'm very young. Matter of fact, I relate to the Democrat. I know he's a conservative, but he's pretending to be a Democrat, and he went to unseat that guy. Even if not the cycle, but he will unseat that particular guy because people will get fed up with him. That's
maybe on day Monday, just recruiting people to go to the
party. But Sebu, the man literally said that he was a conservative just from what he was saying. That's what he said.
Literally, Democrat. That's not what he said.
So he said separation of church and state. I know my picking go.
Yeah, but.
You can't be talking about
that's the law. That's the law. That doesn't mean you don't be conservative or liberal. That's just
What?
Simple.
Not only the law. When you cannot be a Democrat, be talking about God and prayer because he against that. I don't even want to go that route. I know that he's a conservative in the ultra liberal state, and he said it's smart. I said, why can't you be an independent? I tried to test him, but he's smart. He said no. I look at the demographic of my state. I know exactly where I'm going as a Democrat. I knew straight. I said, okay, I know where the kid coming from. So, but he's smart.
Thank you so much. Steve is here. Steve, welcome. We had a very brilliant, young, and well-articulate young man here. He inspired a lot of people, and people are actually contributing towards his campaign. And it was a very good conversation. So we are about to jump into other conversation on politics, but I don't know whether you have something to say about the young man before we jump into politics.
Yeah, quickly before we jump into the Liberian politics, I just want to remind our audience, our listeners, and our viewers, especially Monk, that the Liberian people are the most important people on earth, and the Liberian women are the most beautiful women. But as part of the reminder, I want to remind Monk that Donald Trump is a Democrat. In fact, Donald Trump is on the record saying that if he ever wanted to run for president,
that's a lie.
Hold on now.
It was debunked. It was a
My man, wait, let me, man.
I know that conversation we're gonna go somewhere.
I will send you the link
Wait,
that
no,
was
forget that thing.
debunked by the New York
Forget
Times
that thing.
during the
They,
Washington Post. That was a lie.
my man, wait. The man said it back in the 90s that if he wanted to run for any presidential elections, he would run on the Republican Party.
He said because Republicans are very stupid. He said that.
Exactly.
You know
Now,
what? You know what discredit the statement?
If
my
one
man, you can't
argue,
just
I'll play the video.
Yeah, you know what discredit that statement? There are only two political parties in America: the Republican Democratic Party. They call the Republican Party the party of idea, the party of Lincoln. So if Donald Trump wanted to run on a party for being stupid, it would have been the Democratic Party because you don't have
but
ideas.
but but, but what more
Because
using
you
Republican.
mom just took you off.
yeah, what more using your influence on the show to subsume
Because you're talking
to
too much, mom just
squander.
took you off. So barely that Donald Trump thing and told something good.
Yeah. But anyway, so we'll get to the Library politics because me and Mom will hold it here next week on the show. On Friday we'll hold it on the show. But yeah.
Yeah, so for those of you who were not up yesterday, we did an emergency show. We received the information about Joseph Boakai sitting with Alan White. We gave some of the information. We decided to keep some information for today. And it will interest you that Prince Johnson and Joseph Nima Boakai, the marriage between the Unity Party and the Prince Johnson group, the marriage is sour right now. Things are going in the wrong direction. And also, when we told you yesterday that the president was, ready to let Prince Johnson go, Prince Johnson was just mentioned as one of the major actors who also continued to prove himself to be the only or the most wanted person for war and economic crimes in Liberia. But we want to also inform you that the meeting that happened was supposed to be a secret meeting. And that Joseph Nima Boakai already entered into agreement with Ghana for Ghana to host the War and Economic Crimes Court. And Alan White has been given the go-ahead to start the process. And Alan White did not just also get involved with this thing to enter into agreement with Liberia without the approval, without the blessing of the United States. Matter of fact, it is the United States that is sponsoring, paying for the process. $270 million initially, and more to come. Some people are saying Joseph Boakai taking the whole thing to Ghana will benefit Ghana economically, but some people are saying that it was a smart thing to do because of security concern. Maybe having people like Prince Johnson and being prosecuted in Monrovia, who knows? Maybe the 500 men that he's still going to bring and give them Kinju could come and cause cause problem. That could be one of the reasons why they're trying to take it to Ghana. And we are told that Ghana will be the place where people that were found guilty as well go to jail. There where they will be in prison. So, one of the things that you need to know, we wanted to talk about it yesterday, but we did not talk about it, is the announcement by Jeremiah Kuhn that he went to Nigeria to go do the president job, to go represent the president there. It was not for governor inauguration business. It has something to do with the whole war crime business again. You're listening. The vice president did not say the truth. The vice president misled the people in that regards. In fact, the vice president now going that he went, they say he went to Nigeria. The vice president was in Ghana too before going to Nigeria. Yeah. And the vice president been traveling in the sub-region to get the support of the sub-region on this war and economic crimes court. So the information that Yeke Kolba gave the last time, saying that when Honorable Yeke Kolba said the last time that Jeremiah Kuhn, the current vice president and the current deputy speaker, signed document to turn Prince Johnson over to save themselves from being sanctioned. It's true. And President Boakai did not only call Allen White. President Boakai, when he came here, when he met with the United States government people, that's the commitment that he made, that he will have war and economic crimes court. You know, when Charles Taylor was in Nigeria, before Charles Taylor was turned over to the Hague, the International Criminal Tribunal, or the United Nations back court, something that Allen White spearheaded, the prosecution of Charles Taylor. Charles Taylor was handed over to that court by President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. That's why Charles Taylor was taken all the way to Liberia from Nigeria, where he was. He was turned over to them on Liberian soil. So Prince Johnson and other warlords, other perpetrators of war crimes and economic crime will be turned over by Joseph Nima Boakai. If Prince Johnson wants to be happy, let him be happy with the president. He wants to be angry, let him be angry with the president. And I think Joseph Boakai government started on a very wrong footing on everything else. And they are getting so much bad review. But on this one, I think this will change. This will dilute their review a little bit. I think this is a plus for them. But they shouldn't do it with fear. You're already doing the thing. And this is something the Liberian people want. So stop doing it in secret. The Liberian people support this idea. The Liberian people support justice. So Steve and Monk, Jeremiah Combine from Prince Johnson's party. Jeremiah Combine, the head of the Senate, president of the Senate. Jeremiah Combine, the vice president of the Republic of Liberia. He also working behind the scene with the president to make sure that the War and Economic Crimes Court is realized. How safe is he from the perspective of Prince Johnson, Nimba County, and also his relationship with the party created by Prince Johnson? How safe is Jeremiah Combine? Monk and Steve.
Steve, go ahead first.
No, Monk, take a swap at that thing there real quick. I hear, that my day to enjoy myself. So I'm feeding myself right now. I will talk. Yeah,
Segu,
Yes.
I don't know about the security factor. I'm not a security expert, but Jeremiah Cohen and Prince Johnson went come a long way. They will handle that on their name county politics level. For me, I don't believe in this sectarian kind of politics. I'm not a fan of Jeremiah Cohen. I'm not a fan of Prince Johnson. The one thing that I know, Joseph Braga was elected on three fundamental principles: that he was the most experienced, he been in the game for a while. The Liberian people believe that he will be the one to usher in the accountability, especially based on the performance of the past administration. And the other thing was war and economic crime code. And you said it right. There is no need for secrecy. If Joseph Braga is implementing the war and economic crime code, it means he is trying to exercise the will of the people because that's one of the reasons they voted for him. They gave Georgia the opportunity because people bought into the illusion that we are never held gun. He never sponsored any incursion in Liberia like other politicians. So he was the perfect candidate to do it until he played games with the Liberian people. And because of that, people end up gravitating to Joseph Boakai as well. And the whole divorce court case between Prince Johnson and Joseph Boakai, it was all about game, and somebody will have to be the victim either way. Because we said it on the show on numerous occasions that there will be an economic incentive if Joseph Boakai was to do the right thing. The fact that he's not even seeking office for a second term. So in as much as it's a blessing and a curse at the same time, I think Joseph Boakai will be more leaning to an economic incentive as compared to trying to please Prince Johnson. And no matter how we see it, the reason I don't like to mention Prince Johnson too much of this war and economic crime code, I don't like to make it the poster child because it's a war and economic crime code. And there are a lot of people that committed economic atrocities in Liberia. So it's not limited or restricted to Prince Johnson only. We are only trying to do the right thing. And what Dr. Allen White said, we will do it by international standard. We want to lay a marker and give people justice. So whether it's economic justice or war crime justice or human rights justice, it's all justice and it will be the right thing. So Joseph Bagadan to play games about that. That's the will and the mandate of the Liberian people that voted for him. That's just how I see it.
So,
well,
Steve,
let me first of all commend our president, President Joseph Boakai, and this is no joke. Let me commend the president. You know, many people have said we criticize the president, we hate the president, and we support this group, we support that group. But I can say to President Joseph Boakai and Unity Party on SKTV, when you do what is right, that will benefit the Liberian people, we will commend you. When you do what is wrong, we will also call you out. So I want to commend the president for even taking this step. It's the good step. It is a good step. You know, these are some of the things we anticipated or expected from President George Mane Weah, that he played games with, that he kicked this thing down the road. He kicked it like football down the road. And some of us spoke about our displeasure on his handling of this thing. In the long run, Prince Johnson came back and beat him last minute to time. So I want to commend Jose Yuma Boakai, Mr. Kane. Let me say it today. I want to commend Jose Yuma, and I mean it. I will support anything that is right in terms of justice and accountability. This is not to accuse anybody, like like he said in the tape. Let people go and exonerate themselves. Let them go face the law. If you're free, you can't take your post. You do what you're supposed to do. If you're not free, whatever happened there is up to you. In terms of Jeremiah Cole and Prince Johnson can't do nothing. Fusa, he can't do to Jeremiah Cole. No, he can't do nothing to Jeremiah Cole. In fact, what Prince Johnson does not know, now not only Jeremiah Cole won part of the deal, the Youngly Kanga, all of them know about it, including the Speaker of the House or Representative. They are all aware. They are all in cahoots. They know about this. And for that, I give them a big, big thank you. I want to thank Senator Youngly Kanga Lawyer, who is my Oma. I want to thank God in this venture. I want to thank the speaker, the current speaker. What the speaker needs, he needs some fanatic kofa. Sometimes I can forget him. I won't mess with that or over chambers. But let me commend fanatic kofa. Let me commend him. Let me tell Prince Johnson and other warlord this. They think will pass in a horse bigly in both houses. It will pass bigly. That's one. The second part about it, let me speak to the guy who get censure on in the past around talking plenty that they will defend and say and the American government lie on there and they won't do that one. And you all get ready to defend yourself here. You gotta play that they play the thing I read now that they play what I read. They play one thing I read was phone resetting play Morgan open and they play will not reach. That they play will not reach. So, I love what's going on. I want to say to the biggest man of God in the country, the Reverend who came from being an evangelist, Prince Y. Johnson. I want to say congratulations. The prayers that you've been praying. Last week, Prince Johnson was dancing in white gown in the house of God. It was a sign of celebration and liberation. Finally, Prince Johnson will be liberated. Your been crying for war, crankle, war, crankle, war, crankle. Let it come to Prince Johnson finally now. You're getting me too much pressure, Liberian people. So let a man go and testify finally and be free. You understand? So, Joseph Barker, I want to say thank you. Thank you very much. And you got my full support in that direction. But it does not mean all direction there, when you're acting funny, will not hold you accountable, Papi. We'll still hold you accountable because I want not duty there. But in the meantime, I want to say thank you. I want to say thank you very, 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 very much. Thank you. I'm very impressed by your move. Even though some people see it as a cooking move, they see it as, you take your equal, you fool Prince Johnson, Prince Johnson fool though. I don't get problem. What are you fool you? He fool you. As long as you bring the justice issue that of my concern. I don't care who fool who. And then, you're having 10 meeting, maybe in that 10 meeting, he told you that they finished signing the document. So, yeah, so, you're picking Jeremiah Kuntu, who you call your protege. so, so your protege decided to that you will work with the party for an opposition you. Just so you know. And I can tell you, it's a good move. Vice President Jeremiah Kuhn, even though you wrote private plane, the reason for which you wrote the plane, we are aware. And that's why we're telling Labrenco. Thank you for writing the private plane, but we'll still hold you accountable.
Why you keep making all your to talk that kind of way? She ride a plane. How can somebody ride a plane?
Yeah, they know in private plane, they were writing private plane.
The man flew a
I agree
private
with the paper.
man flew a private plane.
I agree with the paper. Okay, let me talk in a diplomatic way. He flew on a private jet.
Yeah, you can't ride a plane.
In other words,
It's just like calling a pilot or driver.
yeah, to my papa, my woman, in other words, the man ride private plane, sit in private plane.
So let's go to Liberia, to Melbourne, to our people, based on what we just heard from this young man and also the politics of yesterday, the development right now, the War and Economic Crimes Code being already established. I mean, the work is already done. Only the finishing touches now going to be hanging, on. So, what do they think about this whole War and Economic Crimes Code? The fact that Joseph Boakai already enter into agreement with other people. What do they think about it? And maybe they want somebody want to chip in about what they heard from this young man. Maybe somebody like brother, I want to support or contribute to him. All of the above. Open the line, like brother. Let's hear from our people. Maybe.
So 0778 339682. That's the number to call again. 0778 339682. Call in to be part of the show right here on Truth FM. This is the program, the SKTV. And today is Tuesday, having to be the 27th of February. So indeed, if you just joining us, we want to welcome you. And yes, we've been discussing series of issues with young Liberians also who based in the US of A, also having the vision of becoming one of the Congress member and also the World Economic Court. Why you make that? So let me get to this caller. Hello. Hello, my brother. How you doing?
My name is Daniel Johnson. I'm the national chairman of the South Mandela Prayer Movement, and which you people are also part of this. And let me use this time to at least commend the president and all of his lieutenant of the government officials for at least coming together to start the work code, because this is a thing that Nigeria have been ready for. We have been talking for it. We have been advocating about it for time in the north. And then see it being set up. I think it's a good step in the interest of Nigeria, and people will no longer do things and run with impunity. So I think it's a good thing. So we all commend that this is what I say. We are the South Mandela Black movement. This is one thing that we are advocating for. The world economic council, because people who are looking at our state core must account for it. People who kill people must account for it. So if we do that, tomorrow if anything happens, they are be trained to do any other thing.
All right. Thank you so much to this caller. Good evening. Hello.
Good evening. My name is Inalbert Chikwan Santo. I'm calling my David number 3 Maserati County, Republic of Liberia.
Okay, boss. Go ahead, Chief.
Yeah, Chief Mayborn, thank you to all the panelists in studio for their efforts in propagating information to the masses. And my issue has to do with the worker code. We are not very much a storm of wars that we are hearing from those panelists right now concerning the worker code. Senator Prince Johnson made the public statement during his campaign to the name of candidate. If he wins, he will make sure that worker and economic code be established for those who cause atrocities must face prosecution. Those who create economic crime must face prosecution. So we are not very much done for that. We hope and pray to see it implement and be established in Ghana. May God bless President Walker.
All right. Thank you so much to this caller. Good evening.
Yeah. This is Eddie P from Chicago Factory Memorial Response and Defense Team. And I may say what's up to all the guests from SKSU. For me, you can even sit down whatsoever you can sit down very well, whosoever you sit down with. Until I can see the war people coming to Liberia and people they start persecuting people, then I will believe it that is coming. Because it's possible you can go sit down with the people and nothing can come again. You know what? When the war people is coming to Liberia, for me, I will not tell anybody thank you for now. To be honest with you, I will not tell anybody thank you until I see my own eyeball. Maybe people want to score political grade to say, oh yeah, because they want to when you talk to that people, I don't go back. Do you not think somebody think? So somebody's reaching can help me. Until I can see that coach coming to Liberia, yeah, starting in Liberia, they will start prosecuting the garden, they will tell them thank you.
All right.
Thank you for that.
All right. Even myself, I will even want to join call to you also until I see, because just seeing is believing. To this caller, good evening. Hello. Yeah, my brother, go ahead. Your name and from where you join us.
My name is Augustine Zokra, and I call from District 1, Montserrat County.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, one thing I want the Liberian people to know, and Senator Johnson to know, is that the war crime code, we found out that over 90% of the Liberians, they welcome the war crime code. But I want Senator Johnson to know that the work code is not only for him. He should see that, they are wishful thinking. He always say that he will be exonerated. I don't want him to feel say, when people say work code, they will refer to him. There are a lot of people who will be surprising to Liberia. Even so, our president, whether past or current president, one of them would be upon the work code. And they say war economic plan. And not only because of the participation in the war.
All right. Thank you so much. To this caller, good evening. Good evening.
Good evening, Mabel.
Yeah, my brother, go ahead. Your name and from where you join us?
Thank you. This is the voice of William Covey, and I joined this conversation for HK3. I listened to the entire discussion. My question is that, actually, when we're talking about world club prostitutions to come to the district to call Prince Johnson name, they are forgetting about they are the parties in their name, the former Grand Justice Superintendent Kai Fale. We're forgetting about pricing.
So, hello. Yeah. So the panelists that are talking, are you calling them maybe partisan or what?
My question to the platform that to TV and people is that are we really pushing about one platform or pushing platform in this country? Can we answer that question today?
All right, damn it, your phone is terrible. What are we pushing, World Crime Code or Prince Johnson Code? That's the question. Bizilamon, Seku, and other Steve. Yeah, go ahead, Chief, your name.
This is Abdullah 0 point for Kitna.
Good, go ahead, Chief.
Yeah, the only thing to me, my opinion, I see is a general scary party, the unity party, the government trying to pull. Because I'm not seeing they want going to. For the starting of the government, they started putting sanction on people who all event. I see all that one are scary party.
All right.
So they walk back when we just hear it, but we not.
So I mean a flat. People said a flat. My man, forget it. Let him come. People say they come. Today's caller, good evening. Yeah, Chief, go ahead. Sorry, we're not getting you though. Hello? Yes, I don't know where you exactly, but you're coming in off and on. I don't know. Are you still there? No, I think your network is bad. Yeah, so to this caller, good evening. No, I think keep a calls coming 077-833-9682. Take 3 more calls and cross over to the team. Maybe in fact they want to respond to some of your questions or maybe your statements. Hello, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm Jacob and yourself calling from Gambas. District number 1. Sorry. Yeah, the work code that we're discussing about is not a wish hunt. We just want to get justice and fairness. Like for me, I can say the instances that happened to me. This working, my 2 sisters were there through uncle. It took me when I was 40. One person died 0 o'clock in the morning. I mean, in the afternoon time, 6 o'clock, the other one died from uncle. I'm gone for uncle. So we all embrace the work code. And the work code, when Joseph Walker was running campaign, all on his place, he told people that he want to bring work and economic code. When the senior candidate will vote me, I will not bring work and economic code. Even down to the vice president, before he could begin vice president, he said he support the work code. But the only thing, it shouldn't be which one to say the nothing one person. Because he said was affected from the war and economic code, he was affected in the war. So he support the work code. So Prince Johnson shouldn't be worried that the work for he alone. Just only then there, all people then there we know that. So the work code for me, I embrace the work code to come.
All right, thank you so much. To this caller, we'll take one more, then we'll cross over. Hello? Because of time, we want our panelists to talk. Yeah, go ahead. Your name from where you join us?
I'm Donald calling from Redlight.
Okay, good. Go ahead, Chief.
I'm conspiring tonight to call a foundation.
Okay.
As government discuss about the work code, we just current government is talking about a work council. But some of us, we are business or the war. My mother died in the war, my father died in the war. So why is this? You can't bring a war council. Somebody can bring a war council, just forget about it.
Maybe or maybe the politician get to use. All right, thank you. So this caller will be our last caller. You know, sometimes the politician they can look for something to use. Hello, go ahead.
Good evening.
Yeah, my brother, good evening. Your name and from where you join us?
This is Paul Sosa. I come from Duporo.
Good. Go ahead, Chief.
My concern had to do with Unity Party. I had serious problem with them. In a sense that they let men who don't let to get women full money to cook good food for them to eat, but they always let to eat good food.
Oh.
What I'm trying to say is that all the things that they store in 12 years that President we have faced, and could you imagine President we was denied not to pass to the main entry to the post this morning. And
Yeah.
it was not good. It was President we who built that post. Then they telling him that he should pass different areas. Those things not correct. You know,
All
the
right.
state before they were using that old thing. Even they did it again. They mentioned it when since 2005. There was nobody to go around it. But I just we are facing now before they start to sit in it. So
Okay.
let them be careful. The problem they want to bring here when they want for everybody to get.
No, there'll be no problem. Even though the team, maybe because of time, we may not look at that also. But I hope and pray that tomorrow we're going to look at the arrival of the former president of Liberia and what happened at the
So,
RIA. Yeah. So, Sekou, Steve, President
so
Monk,
Monk,
we're back. Yeah.
so no, but let me make my parting comment. The first thing I want to say is thank you to the callers, to the brother who raised up the issue about President Weah. It was brought to our attention. We followed it, and we'll discuss that in detail tomorrow because that's a total different conversation. But on the record, I want to say it's unacceptable. It's wrong. Um, President Weah, a former president, and he should be accorded the respect. That's it, point blank and period. Nothing else on that. If you got any other crimes with him, you can handle it. But let's come to the issue of what economic crimes code that we're discussing, the conversation on the radar tonight. For those of you, especially that guy who called for the response bureau, that guy might lose a job from now to the weekend. And the reason he will lose a job on the response bureau, he frisked it. Our president had meeting discussing to bring one economic crime code. And you question our president, that guy will lose a job. He will not be part of that response bureau. We will work and make sure he move for that. You know why? Because the president is working tirelessly to make sure the one economic crime code thing can. And you working with response bureau in the you want undermine government, don't mean you will lose your job. Just so you know, you will lose your job bigly. And I want to comment the president again. We are on the right path with this conversation, and we will make sure we see the end of this. So the president, I still commend you, I support you on this venture. I'm still working with you. But you know, any attempt, any attempt will be ready again. Some of them won't know where we are. So I'll leave it there, Monk. It's up to you.
Yep.
So, we are listening because we are about to.
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to side with some of the callers, especially the guy who said it is a war crime code or Prince Johnson crime code. For the issue of war crime code has made a broad consensus of Liberian people all across the country in respect of their political affiliation. So I don't think they think the branding of this war crime code is why people are getting mad with. And sometimes I don't blame Prince Johnson for pushing back or being a defensive position, because when you talk about war crimes code in Liberia, the very first thing that comes to mind is Prince Johnson, and that shouldn't be the way. I mean, he's one of the most popular actors in the world. He was, but the whole idea that the whole war crimes code, it just literally concerning Prince Johnson, is something people need to get rid of. It does not make sense. it's not in the right interest of the Liberian people as well, in as much as President Johnson was a popular figure, and the caller said it right. The second thing was the other guy said, I'm not going to congratulate anybody because we've been hearing this thing. And he got a legitimate point. We saw it with the Truth and Reconciliation Committee. They couldn't even implement some of the recommendations. So we're going to give people the confidence that this whole issue of a war crime could, in as much as people want it, they stay not 100% sure until they can see it coming to fruition. Because they are so frustrated. It's been going on. It's been kicked down the road from one administration to another. So people want to see this thing coming in reality before they can buy into the idea that there will be a war crimes code in Liberia. And that, I mean, that's it. They are right.
Monk, thank you so much. You're 100% right. Let's see what happened here. So those of you who might have missed this whole conversation between Alan White and our president, Joseph Mabwakai, we're going to play it towards the end of the show. And so you can listen to it. And those of you who wants to advertise your business, your wedding, your anniversary, whatever you want to advertise, reach out to SKTV. We'll do it for you, both on the radio and right here for a very reasonable cost. So I want to say thank you to all of you. Let's play this so we can listen to it.
That I just, we've been on this journey together for a long, long time. And I wanted to thank you for the phone call. And I just wanted to ask you again, why did you want me to come over here when you?
Well, you've been a good friend of Liberia. And I don't see it just as a duty. I see it as a concern for a country that you have interest in and you pursue that. And we believe your concerns are genuine. And so we've opened the door for us to work together. That's why we call you.
Well, Mr. President, I can't tell you how many people worldwide, when they read your speech and you talked about having an office of the War Crimes and Economic Crime Court to facilitate the creation of this tribunal, international tribunal here in Liberia to bring the justice to the people. I heard it from the U.S. My phone blew up, as you can imagine. People said I could not believe, and they were so ecstatic and elated. And since I've been here, I've heard the same thing. So I wanted to thank you again and give you full assurances that we will do everything we can to help you bring justice for the victims of those 250,000 people that were killed during the two civil wars that happened.
Well, Alan, in every country, and especially a country that boasts of independence, 176 years, and you know very well that it is because of the impunity, the disrespect and disregard for justice that have created all the upheavals in this country. And we believe we have to lay this to rest. Let all the facts be known. Let people who think that they are innocent prove their case, so that we can lay this to rest, so that this country can move forward. It's not a wish hunt. It's a matter of testifying to what you know and what you've done, so that forgiveness can be done on the basis of knowledge and truth. And that's what we're talking about.
Well, Mr. President, you have our full commitment to help realize that. And what we did in Sierra Leone, we were able to move the people on to the reconciliation phase. Because you're right, when people are walking around and they see impunity and they see people that have never been held to account and self-enrich themselves, it basically rubs it in the face regularly. So the fact that you are stepping up, taking this leadership role, I can tell you so far, the people of Liberia are ecstatic about it, and we're here to help you facilitate this properly, independently, and let the prosecutor follow the evidence where it goes, not me.
So let the prosecutor follow evidence where it goes.
At least. That's it. That's all we want.
No border to go to anybody.
Yeah.
No witch hunt. And to the Baga said, we just want justice. It doesn't matter anything. You just got to go and improve yourself. To the Baga, kudos to you and your team and your government. Let's see if this could not be just lip service. We hope this will be a genuine quest for sustainable and everlasting peace and justice for our country. Melbourne, I want to say thank you to you and the entire team right there in Liberia. And I want to say a big thank you to Monk and those of you who actually contributed. Okay, 1 second. Monk, you gotta take over. Let me take out some stuff here.
Yeah, Melbourne, thanks for the day again. And the two individuals in that video, they said it right. Follow the evidence. It should be independent. The Liberian people are started, according to Dr. Allen White, is something that they're in for. It's something that they want. Once it's done with accountability and fairness, I don't think people will have a question. People are not going to play politics with war crimes code. That's one of the reasons I don't think Joseph Boga need to play politics as well, because it's something the Liberian people want. It was one of the many reasons that they voted for him. So the whole thing about playing games. The only thing I hate about the war crime code, like I said, is the branding, the idea that every time you talk about war crimes code, the only person name that comes to the discussion is Prince Johnson. It's just not fair. We want transparency, we want accountability. And he said it, the reconciliation phrase, like they did in Sierra Leone. You see, everything that will come under the war crimes code is a form of justice. Not everybody will go to jail, in as much people want to think that way. The fact of the matter is you can have people that committed a crime and atrocity holding public offices, enriching themselves at the expense of the very same people they abuse. It's just not fair. So even if you were to ban them from participating in politics or not holding public office, it would still be a form of accountability and justice. But at least we need to resolve this issue. It's been overdue. It's long overdue, I would say. So it makes no sense for to play politics with it. And I don't want the guy like Prince Johnson believing that the war crimes code is just targeting him alone, because I know there are lots of Prince Johnsons in Liberia that will also facing the law. And it won't be fair to the guy that is in prison as well, the child stealer, because he was one of those major actors and he got justice. He's in prison. So why should other people walk with impunity? It should be across the board. So my thing is, once it's done free, when it is free, fair, and transparent, once it meet the consensus of the Liberian people and they are and they are so wanting this, it will be a good thing for the country. So we can put this thing to rest and move on to other issues. Let justice be served. And that's what Alan Wade and Joseph Nimapaga stated in that video, So elections are over. We are here with just one result now, and there will be a good step. But I also saw with the colors, especially the guy who said the Truth and Reconciliation debacle was a case in point that some of the recommendations that were made were never acted upon. So they want to see it happen, and they are doubting Thomas's, and they have every reason to doubt because we've been down this rabbit hole before. Past administration played games with this, so we want to see it coming. That war crime tribunal needs to be said. Let people see it happening, then maybe they will get that confidence again that justice has been served. So I don't know, maybe how many minutes you got left on the radio, but that's a man take for now, and we'll do it again tomorrow on the radio. If you still got time, how many minutes you got left, Mabel? Hello, Mabel, can you hear me? I think Mabel is muted. Jesus Christ. Mabel, can you hear me? Hello? What's going on here? This is a breaking transmission. Seku, can you hear me?
I can hear you. I think Melbourne. Melbourne, can you hear me?
Melbourne muted himself. I think I've been saying it.
Yeah, Melbourne muted. I think maybe they are going on their regular.
Yeah, I think they are off. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. That's what we're saying. That's what we are. We just want for justice to be served. Let bring people get their fair shake of this whole war crime thing and put this thing to rest.
Yeah, so I think we got to leave it there for today.
Mm-hmm.
And I really don't want anything to overshadow this young man stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was really, really brilliant. It was really good. Hopefully, people have time to listen to it and also support him. And those of you there are two people who supported you and another sister. One of my sisters, she donated $20. You donated $100. That's $120. Let me see if there's anything added. If not, we'll call it a day. Yep. So far, the only person that sent something beyond beside that person say for Mayborn, he works so hard, and that's $30. Uh, so we already sent it to Mayborn anyway. I want to wait there. I waited for no time. The reason why waiting, yeah, reason why I'm waiting for the other guy who I thought more will still come, they can just send everything together.
Yeah, y'all have support that kid. They're pushing and see what's up.
You're trying,
Yeah.
man. You're trying to push
Y'all,
that guy.
y'all push the kid.
Whatever you can do, it doesn't matter. The amount, every amount is important. Yeah, but Monk, I mean, I hear them, man.
All right, man. 2 hours. That's good.
Yeah, let's try to stick to that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're in 2 hours and 10 minutes. I think that's enough for the day.
Yep.
Thank you, my people. We appreciate you guys' support and everything. We'll see you tomorrow. Your good night.